All right. Back to the last round. Round 6.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
We are watching Satya against Atraxa. Two meta decks
It's
facing off.
it's an interesting one in a way that I think it's a very classic matchup, but I haven't seen this one on a feature match table so far. I think this is a game that qualifies, or the winner qualifies for the top 8. So players are both trying their best to proceed to the top 8, obviously. Here we have what is this flying creature from Duskmorn? What does it do? Is it a drake?
I think it's called Flood Pit Spawner.
Okay.
Flood Pit's Drowner.
Uh-huh.
So
I think it has
enters
flying
the
and flash.
battlefield. It has Vigilance and Flash.
Mm-hmm.
When it enters the battlefield, you tap a creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it.
That's cool.
So
That's
it's pretty good.
Yeah, good synergy with Satya.
For 2 mana and tapping, you can shuffle Flood Pit Drowner and target creature with a stun counter on it into their owner's library.
Oh, that's even better. So you can shuffle away the token. That's cool.
Yeah, so we see a Cosmic Rebirth, which is probably going to ramp by 1 here and gain 3.
Yeah.
Great card. Pride, not managing to gain any life from the looks of it, so there's no token coming at end step here.
I would love to see more cards with this Halo foiling. I think it looks absolutely amazing.
Which one?
The Halo foiling on the of Cosmic Rebirth.
Oh, okay.
There was this cycle with questing beast and several cards in several arts. I think I'm not sure if it was a secret layer, but it was like, the Cosmic Rebirth is in the Kaldheim style. Then we have Questing Beast was Throne of Eldraine style, or with the border. I think there also is a Misdirection with Mystical Archive style, also in Halo foil. I really like the foiling. It looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And there is the Glacial Fortress that I still want to get. The artwork is very, very well fitting, in my opinion. I usually don't like the space theme that much. I think it's from the Time Lord set, the Doctor Who, but this one fits quite well. It should fit your land base because you play all these shocklands from the Space Edition.
Yeah, for me it's Infinity sort of like if I already have cool versions of cards, then I usually don't upgrade them. So
well, you have the Russian signed OG foil, so that's
so that's kind of it's not very much motivation to upgrade that one.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that. So there was a Swords to Plowshares and a Brain Search. And it seems Satya is stuck on 3 lands, which is a bit of a bummer. Can't really develop the board any further.
We're probably going to see the Flood Pit's Drowner dying this round.
Yeah, that happens.
If he does find a land drop, the coast is sort of clear to just play Atraxa. I'm not sure how much counter magic is in the Satya deck and how much counter magic he knows about from the Satya deck. So actually there is quite a bit. So there's Daze, Invert Polarity, Reprieve, No More Lies. So there's a couple. So
it's definitely something that you always need to respect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, last game we had Yoshi. Yoshi plays Boros. No counter magic to fear, apart from maybe a somewhat random mana type or Reprieve. But most decks do not feature Reprieve. Some of them play mana type, but rarely. And here, it really depends on the player. What's your playstyle? Some decks are much more tamperish, featuring a lot of counters. Others are much more aggressive, with more creatures, so you have to take that into account. There is a Barrogoyf.
This is like, I think Atraxa is very happy to be in this position.
Definitely.
He just traded a lightning bolt for a token, and now he's managing to counter his way into having a Barrogoyf in play. When that happens, when he starts attacking with that, he's gaining life back, and eventually he can just play Atraxa and win the game. So
yeah, there's Unsettled Marina. I really love this card. I think you see it in many more Satya lists these days, but it's a very specific card with a very specific use case.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of it, especially in this deck, because it doesn't have any ETB value, and there aren't that many synergies with it.
That's true.
It does, which is, sometimes it's more of a joke, but sometimes it's also very relevant. It does pitch to Force of Negation, Force of Will, Subtlety, and Solitude, which, sometimes kind of upping the blue count in decks like this is important. If you are finding that you don't have pitches for those cards oftentimes.
Yeah. Funny that the deck that does not synergize with energy tokens has the Wrath of the Skies ready.
Yeah.
A perfect situation in which we see how versatile this sweeper is. Your Barrogoyf sticks to the board while we get rid of the creature. The last time I played the Marina was... Do you remember the pile I brought up some time ago with Tazir? The party combo deck? We also made a deck tag about, where you had like Devoted Druid, infinite green mana, ending up in finding the 4/4 Snake Cleric that would allow you to tap mana for any mana whenever you cast creature spells, and then you can find a Spellseeker. Spellseeker finds finale.
You mean Tazri, not Tazir.
Tazri, sorry, not Tazir. Tazri.
Now yes. I'm less confused.
Yeah, Tazri, right. Yeah. There, I played the Shapeshifter because it's all the party creatures at once.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best card, but it was a party creature. So it was fine. And here we see a concession from Satya. Perfectly
not
fine.
To find land drops here.
Yeah,
there's not much that he could.
And Atraxa resolved, and the opponent gain a land and a Mystic Confluence. So this doesn't look any better. The new Spire Bluff Canal artwork from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, followed by a Surveillant.
So we're probably going to see another flash creature here. He doesn't play that many. I think the Floodplates Drowner. Oh, there's Floodplates Drowner. There's Failure, and that is definitely a way to kind of try to get into a game against Atraxa. Is that you play a creature at the end of their turn, and then either they counter it or they don't have mana to counter your next spell the turn afterwards. So this, then again, he also hasn't spent any mana in the first 3 turns, which kind of overall sometimes hurts a bit. And the late game is definitely in Atraxa's favor.
So we have a Synth Eradicator. Again, a card. Wow. Yeah. We have a counterspell ready and a 4 spike for the Spell Snare. Well, can't do much if you have it.
Yep.
And there is a henge gate pathway. I think it is. Sauron's Ransom on the other side. This is a super cool card. Many people often forget that, oh, we see an Aether Spike. Also cool. I haven't seen this counterspell yet. So it's basically a miscalculation, but you can pay more energy, I think, and your opponent. So it's 2 plus the amount of energy counters you spend.
Yep.
To counter the spell. I was just about to say, Sauron's Ransom. Cool that he does that. People sometimes forget you can also do a 3-1 pile. I often have opponents that separate like an equal pile. It's not like this. It's the same as with Factor Fiction. You can do 1-4 piles, 2-3. Followed up by a Baleful Strix.
Yeah, so this is a situation where, you know, I'd be pretty surprised if Satya still wins this game.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Atraxa has had all the good counterspells up to this point.
Exactly.
Managed to stop him from getting on the board. He also did seemingly keep a hand with one aggressive creature. And now we're seeing a Leyline Binding on the Solitude.
I mean, if your opponent is on, if the control player is on 19 HP with 5 lands on board, and there's nothing happening apart from that, it's most often a bad sign.
Yep.
Not sure how many cards he has left in hand. Oh, quite a lot. 3 or 4. Now might be the 5th card. Followed by a Ponder. Wizards. I'm very sure you're not watching his video. If you do, please reprint an old bordered Ponder variant that does not cost $700. I think it doesn't cost that much in English.
I think that's a you issue.
A me issue?
Yeah, I think you just need to make more money and then you can get yourself
okay. Okay, we're gonna go for the donations. So we can call out for donations. People can finance. I'm sorry that I'm poor. I cannot afford a $700 Japanese foil Ponder. That's completely overpriced. Because there are only 20 copies out there.
On Card Market, it's $1,300.
Cool, great.
Yeah,
even better. I think that was the price.
You can get an English one for as low as $300.
Yeah, as low as. That's right. You can get a dual land for that. Think about it.
But dual lands only make mana; they don't draw cards.
Well, that is true. A White Orchid Phantom on board, and it resolved in combination with Satya. That seems not too bad. So you're not going
Satya
to
resolves here. He gets to destroy another land.
Yeah.
And if he gets to make another trigger happen with the White Orchid Phantom, then it's probably a strip mine. I'm just having a look.
Yeah. Could be the case. Very sure he has a forest in the 99.
No snow-covered basics.
Yeah. It's probably only a set of forests, and that's it. A set of basics, I mean.
Yep, so it is a set of basics, and he has them all in play now. So if another White Orchid Phantom manages to make it to the board, then he gets to kind of stop the Atraxa cast.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, if Atraxa comes down this turn, and against a tapped out Satya player, that's pretty likely. Then, you know, with it being on board, yeah, he's played his Tundra, so I imagine that's what we'll see if he's a bit scared of, or if he can't disrupt this loop. I think he also found an animated in the ponder, if I saw it correctly.
I think so too, yeah.
So that might be why he's looking at graveyards.
Yeah. For 5, there is a Teferi.
See a Hero of Dominaria.
I haven't seen that one for a while.
Yeah. And notably, he has tapped out of Animate Dead Mana, so he has decided not to reanimate. I guess it's just the synth Eradicator.
Yeah. And there is the, I don't know,
so
6th counterspell in a row to deal with. I mean, Satya is doing a good job putting up all these.
Yeah. I think unless he has unless he has a free counter, this Satya gets to go wild. So we might be seeing a game 3 here. He gets to strip mine him. Yeah, so he's strip mined off. Well, not off black mana. He still has the swamp in play, but double black.
So he gets to shuffle the library, basically. I think the 5 fairy, the fairy that's on board, is the card that I faced the most against you in all the games we've played already since 2016 or 17.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is always a card in my mind it's connected to you because you played it so many times back then in Akira Thrasios, in I think you played it in Shorikai and all different kind of decks.
Okay, so now we are back to a difficult situation.
Lucky to top deck the 7th land, and there is unfortunately no interaction from.
Yeah, there would have been last turn.
I mean,
he gets to take a land, a planeswalker, and probably a force of will, I'm guessing.
So the Phantom has first strike and flying, right? And there are 9 power on board. So if he finds a way to get rid of Atraxa, which is difficult because exile will most likely give you additional life. Solitude was already played? Or was that last turn? I think it was this turn. This game.
Solitude was under the Leyline Binding.
All right, exactly, yeah. We see it.
So a Static Prison, a Swift Reconfiguration, a Parallax Wave all do the trick.
Otawara? Does he play Otawara? Probably.
He does, yes. Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, Swords does not do
played out of Steam Vents, and he's looking for, he's digging.
So for 3, we have a Kutzil's Flanker.
He gets to exile graveyards or gain 2 life and scry 2.
He decides to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is you can go for combat now. And the thing is your opponent just gains so much life. If you don't decide to go for combat.
Oh, he does go for combat with everything. I think he likely wants to limit the... Yeah, it is +2 damage. Right?
12. Yeah, so opponent goes down to 2, that's true.
Well, no, not quite. Opponent goes down to 1, and then damage happen, and opponent gains 7 and takes another 3.
Why does he go down to 1 first?
Because they do first strike damage. All the phantoms.
Ah, yeah, well, yeah. Which means he should have copied the phantom. No, never mind. You can just block 1 phantom anyways, and then...
Wait, did he not copy the phantom?
He copied the Kutzil's Flanker to exile his graveyard.
Oh, I don't like that.
Well, it doesn't change anything, right?
Well, if he copied the phantom, he could have strip mined another land.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if this changes the equation. I mean, there are still 7 lands on board. He cannot target any of the basic lands, so he will always have access to 1 pip of each color. I'm not sure if that's the way to go, to be honest.
I'm not sure if exile in the graveyard does anything more.
So, the Wandering Emperor.
I'm a little confused why he's at 13 now. He was at 7?
I'm not sure if he gained 2 more life due to the Wandering Emperor.
Ah, that might be the case, yeah. Okay, we see an Ajani
Oh, that's a Snapcaster Mage, and there's a cut down. That's rough, man. That's really rough. Yeah, and that probably seals the deal. So it was a very close one for Satya, to be fair.
Yeah, so he had the exact sequence of cards to navigate into a win.
Yeah.
Right. He had the White Orchid Phantom on board with the Satya, and had a subtlety for an Atraxa if the opponent went for casting Atraxa on 7, the 5 fairies stalled just enough time to take that interaction away.
This is one of these games where
this is one of these games.
This is
one of these games.
I was just about to say it's one of these games where it feels so awkward. Like your opponent has the perfect answers to anything. Yep. Like there were a couple of free spells involved on Satya's side. Still, your opponent brought up Force Spike and a bunch of counter magic. I mean, of course, he's playing a control deck. This deck features a lot of counter magic, yes, but sometimes, like, in order to have this composition of cards, it takes a bit of luck for sure. Then again, you could also argue the same for Satya, to be fair, because he always had a backup spell to defend or trying to defend the spells. And like in case of the Eradicator, having the spell snare for a counter spell. But then there was the Force Spike or Mana Type, I'm not sure anymore. And so on and so forth. And now they decided, well, this is a lethal swing, and I'm probably not coming back from it anymore.
Well, no, it was already it was lethal damage.
Yeah.
9
even if not, like he's on 29. There's no way to get back. Okay.
Yep.
Still a cool match, I think.
Definitely a cool match. Shows the power of Atraxa.
Definitely.
Powerful things happening. Lots of free spells being cast.
Yeah, and so far I would say clean magic. I have not witnessed any bigger faults, which is understandable. I mean, we're close to the top 8, so the quality of games increase.
Yeah,
cool.
They have played to this level.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching.
Over in the top 8.
Yeah, see you next
quarterfinal starting with no idea. We'll see.
We'll see.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.